Hello and welcome to Zeta's Chivalry 2 Survival Runs. Today's map is Galencourt and I'm playing with the requested weapon, the Daggers. The Daggers themselves are excellent when you are ambushing people and hitting them from behind, because Dagger itself and also Ambusher class has a great synergy of having additional damage when hitting from people from behind. Other than that, dueling is pretty hard with this weapon due to lack of range, and enemy with any dash can simply outrange you and kill you instantly. Having this in mind, let's continue commenting the run itself. So first duel already, I'm having issues with the ranging, but again we were 2 against 1, so that was a bit just a reminder for me that it is hard to deal with this weapon, especially against many enemies. It is possible, but it's really hard, so any one-handed weapon can do it better, like a mace or an axe or a sword. For this reason, it's actually possible to have a short sword as a secondary weapon for this class. It also delivers some additional, it's a native weapon for Ambusher class, so you can also enjoy the backstab damage, although not as much as with daggers. However, I do choose 2 daggers in my loadout, for the sole reason that sometimes you'll see that when you pick up the throwing knights from the crate, you do not immediately get it selected, and you will inevitably throw away your 1 dagger. And if it's unpickable, so good luck of continuing the round with the daggers. Dagger is not a popular weapon amongst people in Chivalry 2 Battlegrounds, so for this reason it's better to stack 2 of them in your loadout. And yeah, that limits your abilities to do normal duels, but this is expected. This is not the class for duels. If you want duels, or you want against many when you go into the front, just deliver a lot of damage, this is not the way to play this class at all. Its strength, the strength of this class is that it delivers additional damage when hitting people from behind with its native weapons. And the native weapons are daggers, short swords, hatchets and so on. And cutters too, so yeah. But daggers by far can deliver the highest output if you hit people from behind. Standard damage is 150 damage if you hit from standing position from behind. But now you saw that I misclicked the talk button because it's very close to W. So for this reason I just was standing there and tried to cancel that interface. And I received 2 hits for free. So I have this in mind. Also, this class does enjoy some sort of gap closers and in sense of throwing knives. However, again, when you pick up from the... now you saw I picked them up from the crate, and they did not immediately get selected, so I have to press number 3 to select them, so I'll be able to throw it. Otherwise, look at that, you see I'm throwing my main dagger. So this is an example why it is needed to have a secondary weapon as well, dagger selected. So again, you know that in Chivalry there is a timer when your weapon is active, so after a while, if you throw something, you won't be able to pick it up, because it will be gone from some sort of temporary memory table. So for this reason, it's best to have 2 weapons than 1 of the same type if you want to do survival run with the daggers themselves. Also, again, if you want to do duels, then you're not using this class to full potential. It's best when you hit people from behind. However, it's very map dependent and also side dependent. So for example, if you are playing as a defender, basically going behind the enemy archers that are inside their spawn, so it's not very good. So for this reason, it's actually only best playing as attackers when you can go behind and ambush enemy and do not get immediately overwhelmed by their spawn. So yeah, defensive runs with this class is a no-go. So usually just do it on attacking runs. Now you see the objective has shifted, so it has the enemy spawn. This is the perfect time to go in and grab those sweet archer kills, like this one. You see insta-kill. Even the front-facing enemy was insta-killed. Now, a stab delivers 50, so again, a lot. So that helps to get rid of enemy archer in 2 light hits. So standard with normal weapons, but once you hit special attack from behind, or I think even a strong attack from behind, with a stab, so I think that will be enough. Now here's an unfortunate situation. I'm not sure how I got in this pickle, but was able to use my counters and active parry to full potential. Not receiving damage, and not delivering damage, but also not receiving damage and going on forward. Charging special attack is much worse for this weapon, So it delivers only 120 if you hit people from behind, where from standing position it delivers 150. So you see 150 is a hell of a deal breaker, because 120 only can kill enemy archer from one hit, whereas 150, special attack from standing position, can also kill a vanguard and also can kill a footman. So yeah, only the knight would be relatively safe after your special attack. However, if you proceed with kick and then any stab or whatever, any hit, that'll be sufficient to kill off enemy knight. So yeah, other than that, for some reason our objective is progressing really well. I'm not sure why. Now also daggers do have advantage in very enclosed environments like this, where enemies, for example larger weapons, can just get stuck over some obstacles. So if you are in really close quarters, it's best to use shorter weapons, like the dagger is perfect for that. I see there are two enemies there, and there is sort of not much place to maneuver on this small ramp, so I decided to just go back and just bide my time. Also, it's good to engage with special attack from behind the cover. I delivered sort of just at some attack and remove some stamina from enemy. That's it. Not sure what happened to the first dude. He died miraculously, probably. And I went on to catch up with a second dude, but I can't. So yeah, daggers run are very map dependent. So for example, in the place where on the map where there are plenty of places to cover, to get a cover, for example in ridges and so on, you can sneak up to the enemy from behind those ridges and you won't be seen. So in a sense you can use your class to the full potential. However, in this map you see that's not the case. It's a bridge choke point, for example, and you know, how can I go behind the enemy if everybody is on the bridge? So yeah, some maps are not just made up for this weapon and you have to accept it. I mean, it's not a defensive weapon, and it's also not good in maps where there are choke points and in maps where you can't hide well. So open fields like Warding Glade, for example, it's really awful. But yeah, something like you can say a Thick Castle, it's quite good. Also, yeah, some other maps like Aberfell, it's extremely good for this weapon. However, this is not this map, and fortunately our team is pushing through towards the gate, whereas I was trying to get you know, some stragglers. However, that was unsuccessful. Anyway, team pushed through, so that's good, so I no longer need to be in this choke point. However, due to a combination of active parry and also teammates blocking my hits, I received you know, half of my HP is gone. I'm just waiting here, biding my time until it's replenished, and also trying to find the place where I can climb in up the ladders. It seems like the right side is heavily occupied by the enemies. Let's try the left side, maybe it's better. Not sure why jumping doesn't work here, because usually it does. So I see friendlies slugging it out against enemies, and there's quite a few enemies there, so why risk it? Again, this weapon is not designed for duels. So I decided to go for front, and I'm not sure why, but in the front our army is passing through perfectly well. There's nobody contesting it. However, from on this wall there are plenty of enemies, so I'm not really sure what enemy team is doing. Maybe purposefully losing this, or maybe just did not know what the objective is in this stage. Whatever, they did that, so now they'll have to go back, and we'll be able to get some stragglers again through my dagger. But since I remember, I saw that in animation that I threw with the dagger instead of my throwing knights, so I just immediately shifted my viewing angle to look at the ground, so the dagger would not be lost, but actually would be thrown on the ground. And fortunately, I was able to pick it up, because again, there is a counter in Chivalry 2 where you aren't able to pick up weapons once they're thrown, or you lose them after a certain amount of time. So yeah, having this in mind, it's actually quite fortunate that I still have both of the daggers ready. So you see, on the issues like that, I still need to keep up both of them, to keep them both of them in my inventory. So I saw the enemy ambusher also following this way. Probably he will choose the archer as a easier target, but I can come in. So yeah, you saw that one hit was not successful. Also I did kick, so the enemy had absolutely no chance of surviving. However, friendly stole this kill, and it's fine, I don't mind. Yeah, went into fire, of course, and also received a hit by the friendly archer with a crossbow. So I decided to return the favor a bit and just put some scar on his face. Regardless, I can continue forward. This is an unfortunate place. I did not see this immediately, this enemy vanguard with the glaive. And for this reason I received some damage in return. So yeah, my healing was cancelled. So that's actually fortunate that he hit me when I was healing instead of when I was already done healing. Otherwise I would have need to go immediately to the ammo crate. But instead I healed the second time because my healing was cancelled once you're hit. It's cancelled. Again, so 100 points damage if you hit from the front from standing position. That's not insta-kill immediately for Vanguard. I mean, Vanguard has 130. And also, since you have a throwing knife, also have a look at all the enemies that are red. So you can use that to your advantage to insta-kill them once they are red and retreating. So I got rid of enemy footman with a golden dagger. He received a very nice headshot. Kudos to our archery. Yeah, so can hit some objective. However, the easiest objective is taken in this stage by engineers. Really having hard time with this particular enemy. Really want to do a special attack on him. However, friendly is always blocking me. That's fine. He's moving. He's trying to survive, and seeing that, I don't want to land my hit on the friend. Instead, I want to land away from it. That's why I choose, you know, turn around the last second. Hit the enemy mid-air. Pretty nice. Quite cinematic. And yeah, the range is not very good. You can get accustomed to it, but again, not very good compared to other weapons. Especially two-handed weapons. And also you have to fend off against enemies who have two-handed weapons, heavy ones. So if you do not do counters, but instead do, for example, just a block, then you lose your weapon quite fast due to lack of ability to maintain stamina, because you need stamina to do blocks. If you don't have stamina, you lose your weapon. So enemy Vanguard for some reason came here. Absolutely no idea why, because he has a countdown that he has to return to his next objective. So this is why usually attacking runs are easier. That I can enjoy here and stay here and I'll survive, but he won't. He'll have to return. He has to move. Again, 80 damage for enemy archer. Unfortunately, friendly stole it, but what can you do? So it cannot kill insta-kill from charging with charging attack, but with dagger he can insta-kill with special attack from standing position. So for archer, you need to actually stop a bit and then engage again with special attack if you want to do insta-kill. And yeah, insta-kill for archer can come even from the front. You don't necessarily need to be from behind. But if you do charging leaping attack, then you have to do it from behind. So now we'll have a small duel of ambushes. My first stab completely whiffed. However, enemy is not doing well with his throwing daggers. So I actually have advantage. Already 70 damage by just those two. And then a strong stab, 70 HP damage. That was enough. I see two guys slugging it out. Not sure if they're maybe dueling. Decide to wait a bit and see how our side fares. So I go there, try to heal a bit. And actually I still have a feeling that friendly is losing. There, fair enough. You see, he's low on HP. So I decide to go in and interfere a bit. Not much. Just a bit. So yeah, it's a quick weapon, you saw that. If enemy faints, you can simply spam attack and that'll be enough. So I've also healed the friendly. So yeah, doing some work, but again, team is progressing quite fast towards the objective. The Fader's tomb was already damaged, and also it didn't take much time to get this objective. Not sure, I'm quite a quick, almost you can say a speed run of this map. I saw two enemies coming here from the spawn. However, again, this is not a weapon for one against many. If you face in a battle, one against one, face to face, it's more the best used when attacking from behind. And for this reason I decided to go back. Now this enemy was blocking for some reason. I hit from behind, but he still blocked it. And the map has ended. So I scored 24 kills, which was not enough. But actually, since it was a speedrun, it was sufficient. I hope you enjoyed it and see you next time.